Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name is Andres Ramirez, and I am the tactics writer for Cartilage Free Captain. Over the last year or so, I've been writing some pieces on Tottenham's on-pitch performances. I did want to expand a little bit from there and go into video because I honestly just miss talking about soccer with my friends. I think the best place to start would be with this Crystal Palace match because as a Spurs fan, what a phenomenal performance from the entire team, literally the entire team. No one put a foot wrong. Maybe Davinson Sanchez, maybe a little bit of blame there for his goal, for the goal that Crystal Palace scored. But even Mourinho said, maybe that goal going in at halftime was a good thing, because we were getting a little bit complacent. We're taking the foot off the gas. Getting that goal against us kind of woke us up. Right? And we really did see that in the second half. So I know that there were about 15 or 20 minutes in the first half where Spurs really did seem to be sleepwalking. But man, what a step up in performance compared to the last couple of games that we've seen. Honestly, the last couple of months. There's been a lot of talk about Mourinho out. There's been a lot of talk about, overhauling the squad. I genuinely believe the squad... every squad has its weaknesses, right? But every squad also has its really good parts, and obviously Tottenham have their really, really good players, right? It's all about building the team around them and making sure that the team that's there now is squeezed for everything that they have, right? And I think part of that is trying to make players fit in places that maybe they did not fit before. And I know that sounds weird, but I think a great example of that is Lucas Moura. He had a phenomenal game against Palace. And I know that there were a lot of standouts. Kane, obviously, with his wonder goal. Gareth Bale continuing his redemption arc. Son, even though not getting on the score sheet, providing some great assists. And Højbjerg obviously never puts a foot wrong, etc., etc. The list goes on, right? But Moura himself, I found to be extremely impressive because we're seeing a different side of him. And this is a guy that averages about 75% passing completion, which is very low. Moura is developing into the sort of player that isn't just a one-trick pony down the wing and sprinting at players. He's doing a phenomenal job at actually involving other players and improving his passing accuracy. So I know that it's just one match. I don't think that it's worth saying, Moura is a playmaker now, right? No, that's not where I'm trying to go. But more so, I'm trying to say that we're seeing another side of him that really, really means that the player is developing, even though he's, getting on in age, right? He's, correct me if I'm wrong, 28, 29 now. A couple of things that I did notice from this match for Lucas. Number one, he is dropping deep now. We've seen Dele do this before. We've seen Harry Kane do this season, and that's part of his game, how his game has developed. We've seen Son do it in absence of Kane, and now we're seeing Lucas do it as well. He's never really been that person who brings the ball forward from the middle of the pitch. Well, now Mourinho, it looks like, is relying on him, well, maybe not relying on him, maybe trusting him would be a better word, to progress the play from the middle of the pitch. And that makes it so much more difficult for the opposition to really know where the play is going to develop and where the attack is going to come from. Because it's not just Kane that they have to worry about dropping deep. It's not Son or Bale. It's also Lucas as well. So it creates so much more flow and also almost an interchangeability. Lucas isn't dropping, then Harry Kane is dropping, right? And that's what makes it hard for the opposition to really react appropriately and shut down Tottenham's attack. So when Kane drops deep, it's Lucas Moura who's actually exploiting the half spaces between the defensive lines of the opposing team. So then the question then becomes, why does Lucas Moura all of a sudden have this newfound role? Why is he trusted to do this when Pochettino didn't trust him to do it, and Mourinho only trusted him to do it literally 2 weeks ago. He's in the top 20 for most progressive runs in the Premier League this season. So even as frustrated as I get with him when he gets dispossessed, when he runs into an opposition player, he still carries the ball fairly consistently, around 2.5 progressive carries per 90, which is pretty good. It's not the best in the league, but it's pretty good. And again, Mourinho is putting him in a position where he can do this more often because he has more space to do so. And this is all glossing over the fact that Lucas Moura has inherently a great ability for small, short passes. I know that a lot of them don't come off, and honestly, yes, I've seen a lot of Spurs games. I understand that a lot of times, much like his dribbling, his passing can be very frustrating. Again, going back to that 75% passing completion rate, right? But when it comes off and when it works, it comes off good. It comes off real good. So all in all, this is really encouraging stuff from Tottenham Hotspur. Mourinho is showing that he's not a dinosaur. He's showing that he can adapt to this team and he can throw players into different spaces and into different roles and see what fits, what works, what doesn't. But it does give Mourinho a little bit of a dilemma, and maybe this is something that he's going to take match by match, because the right side of Tottenham Hotspur defensively looks weak when Lucas is not there. When Lucas and Sissoko are not there, it definitely looks weak. And it's because, well, number one, our right backs aren't great. I think Serge Aurier can be phenomenal on his day. I think Matt Doherty can be serviceable on his day. And against Crystal Palace, Matt was fine. Even Mourinho came out and said Doherty had played a flawless game, which, fair enough, that's his take. But from what I saw, it seemed like there could have been a lot more problems because Bale was not tracking back a whole lot. There was a lot of space to attack on the left side for Crystal Palace. Against another opponent that's maybe a bit more apt for attacking down that channel, down their left side, either Matt is going to need some help or Serge Aurier is going to have to start because he is clearly the better right back right now. What I'm really curious about is hearing what you guys thought. Did Lucas have a great game, or am I making things up and did my eyes deceive me and am I watching a totally different player than the rest of Tottenham Hotspur fan base? Additionally, let me know what you think of this video. Is it fun to listen to? Is it not? Are there other players that you'd like for me to focus on or anything else? Any suggestions are welcome. Trying to build this out through cartilage free. So let's build something together, guys. Cheers.